Hey guys, I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna do you some quick training this morning. Um, Yesterday, and this is how I want you to deal with negative people. Okay. Yesterday, I had a lady. She came to me and basically said that. Let me see. Let me get back up here where she said this. Hi, Lindsay. I started to join your team a year ago. I chickened out. I have read your post for over a year. I'm ready to join your team 100%. I took Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday off. The 6th, 7th, and 8th of January. We have quite a few animals. A few are rescues. I need extra money. Please help me. Thank you so much. Please tell me what I need to do. Thank you and God bless. And then she put good night. And of course, this was back on the 3rd. And so I said, of course, you want to get started Monday because she said that she need to be, she'd get started Monday. She said, yes, 11 o'clock. Would that be okay? Well, let me tell you something, guys. A lot of people, they say, oh, yeah, let's set up a time, but then they never show up. So my thing is, I wait for them to message me, right? So, anyways, sounds great, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, about 11:05, she said, I'm here. 11:25, she said, Lindsay, are we still on? Well, I was up doing laundry and piddling around the house. And I said, yep, sorry, I had to run to the post office because I had to run to the post office. The post office closes at 12 and I don't have a key. So anyway, we get on and I'm helping her, kind of get started. And she's saying, her phone is messed up. And I said, well, you need to be on a computer. What's my hotspot? Blah, blah, blah. So she was having issues. So all she needed to do was step 2. So she said, I don't remember my password. And I said, well, okay, click on forgot password. And so blah, blah, blah. Anyways, she said, yes, my phone is giving me trouble. And I've already told her you need to be on a computer to do this. I said, okay, log into Facebook on your computer. Well, that was at 12:01. And she said, okay. Well, at 12:07, she come back and said she was here. Well, in that meantime, I got a call from school. One of my kids was throwing up. So I immediately jumped up and went and, got him or whatever. Well, she said, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. She said, Lindsay, are you there? And I said, sorry, I had to run and get my son. I said, did you log in? I mean, it's a no-brainer. You log into step 2 and you do offers. She knows this, okay? So I get this message. Hello, I waited for you for over an hour. Why would you not say, I'm going to get my son. Let's meet back in a little while. It's really got me questioning you and this whole thing. I took vacation days because I thought you were real. Okay, earlier she told me that she's ready to join my team 100%, but now she's saying it's making me question you and I thought you were real. I'm feeling very let down, not sure what to do. I need the extra money. Please don't lead me on if this isn't real. That tells me right there she ain't 100%. Okay. And in my previous experience, okay, if they're not 100%, if they haven't made a decision, then number one, they're either not going to continue this, okay? They're going to get on here and, it's going to be like, well, hold my hand and do my work for me. And if I don't make any money, it's going to be your fault. That's how that works. That's how that works, okay? Or number two, she's just not even going to try. So, she hasn't made a decision. And until you make a decision in life, you're not going to give it 100%. You're not going to be ready to go full force with as much energy and focus as, anybody I've ever seen. So, I'm reading this and I'm like, well, I thought you were ready to join my team 100%. You've been watching me for a year because I didn't, sit there and hold your hand. Then you don't believe in me. So she said, don't answer. She said, just don't answer me on here and I won't bother you again if this is fake. Thank you. Okay. Usually I don't respond to this because I'm like, I don't allow negative people in my life. But for the sake of it, for her to think that I'm not real and I'm one of these scam artists, yeah, I wrote her back. And I probably won't answer her if she messages me back just because I'm not going to waste my time on somebody. If you can't make a decision, that's not my fault. So I said, wow, so I'm not perfect and you're fast to make judgment. Maybe this isn't for you, Miss Jane. I work from home. My kids come first before anything. I was waiting for you to get your password. There's nothing I could have done until that. When the school called saying he was throwing up, forgive me if I didn't think about you. My child comes first, so maybe this isn't for you. Because I won't be available 24/7 to hold your hand. And I just told her straight up. I mean, there's no sense, guys, in being somebody that you're not. All right? I believe in being nice to people and treating them with respect. But when you come at me with, stuff that she said, that makes me feel defensive. All right? And it's negativity. And I'm not putting up with it. I'm sorry. I don't care if I don't make $1 off her. I don't have to put up with that. I said, if you want to continue this, just go to, and I gave her my website. Under the video, it has tutorials on each step. Most of the people that sign up can follow video instructions. I knew that you were nervous and afraid, so I thought I was doing something nice. I don't allow negative people around me, Miss Jane. I've had enough of that in my life, and I've overcame it. And I don't have a boss. I'm sorry if you're scared, nervous, or question me. I can't make that decision for you. All I can tell you is what it's done for me, as it may not do the same for you, and that's true. People come in here every day and don't make a dime. The number one reason they don't make any money is, number one, they're not focused. Number two, they haven't made a decision yet. They're still afraid. Guys, you're not going to make any money if you're just afraid. If you're afraid, it ain't real. I didn't have anybody to talk to when I came into this business. My sponsor never answered me when I emailed her. I didn't know if this was real or not. But you know what? I made a decision. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. Even if it's not real, what do I have to lose? Right? Okay. So I did. I made it work. My kids weren't getting fed, hardly. I can't say that. My kids weren't, we were struggling, and I didn't have a choice. So here's my thought. Here's my whole point to this. If you have negative people, get away from them. They're not going to be good in this business. Why? Because they haven't made a decision, guys. And, you don't have to put up with that. You work from home. And if it means you're not going to make $1 off of them, that's okay too, because you don't want people like that on your team. If they're already wanting you to hold their hand, if they can't follow video instructions and go do it, then they're not cut out for this. This is the internet, guys. You're supposed to be able to follow instructions via video. That means that you don't have to go to their house, hold their hand, and say, okay, Miss Jane, you need to do this. Times like that are over with. That's what the internet's for. That's what videos are for. So don't let negative people impact you. People tell me I'm a scam all the time, and I just laugh at them. I really do, because you know why? Let's compare bank accounts. I bet I make what you make in a month in a week. Seriously. Now, did I get there by working my ass off at a job? I did my time doing that. I found a better way. But you know what? I wasn't afraid to get out of my comfort zone. And that's Miss Jane's problem. And I'm doing this as a study guide for you guys. If you get somebody like that, if you want to message them, fine, but you're like, I'm wasting my breath right here because she hasn't made decisions. She's nervous. That's not my problem. You're not going to judge me because, you haven't made decisions. That's not me. So here's what I said. I said, no two people are alike, but I was at the bottom of the barrel when I started this. I didn't have any money and was barely feeding my kids, so I made it work. I didn't have a backup plan, and honestly, I didn't have anyone to talk to see if it was real, really real, like you do me. I had to take a chance in life, and I did. And I made it work because I knew my kids deserved a better life. Which brings me to my point. They will come first, regardless of anything else. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful in any way, but it sounds like you're letting me make a judgment call about if this is real. Therefore, that tells me that you haven't exactly made your mind up and made a decision. And I will tell you from experience, until you make a decision in life, you won't give it 100%. And that's true. So, when you run across these negativity people, guys, just ignore them. They have nothing. There are people out there that want to change their life. I find them every day. Okay. It's like, putting a needle in a haystack, but they're out there. And guess what? For every person that I find that's willing to change their life and give it everything they've got, I make $100, and plus some off residual off GDI and Empower. Okay. there are people out there. You have to figure out, like, I target broke people, okay? And it's a different tactic than most people do, but I know that they could spend less than $10 and change their life because I did, okay, to get started. And so I guess that's my nursing judgment in me, is I like to help people, okay? So that's the people that I target. So when I talk to these people, I have to remember that they're broke. And those of you that have signed up for me, I paint this picture of what you could have, and you could have it. If you're signed up with me, you know the potential. You see the income. If you're not making any income, then you've got to focus. You've got to give it 100%. Do you know how many hours I spent on a computer when I first started? Because I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't have nobody to train me. I researched and researched and researched because I knew that I wanted a better life, and I was bound and determined to make this work. Okay, guys, you're not going to make it work if you don't feel like doing something today, or you don't feel like doing this, or I'm scared to do that. Get out of your comfort zone and do it. I make videos. I have 10 steps that should get you making money the next day. I show you how to place ads. I show you how to talk to people. I mean, we're all the time doing training. If you're not at training, I can't help you. Okay? If you don't take the time to watch it the next day, I can't help you because I'm doing all I can. No, I'm not at your house saying, okay, you need to do this. That's working from home, guys. It does have its disadvantages. You don't have a boss over you saying, you better do this or you're not going to get paid. Okay? Nothing in life is perfect, but if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. I'm living proof. So, here's your lesson on negativity idiots today. Turn the cheek, because they ain't worth it. Find somebody that wants to change their life and laugh at those and feel sorry for those that don't, because they're really missing out.